I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land and elders past, present, and future. As far as I can remember, I began to understand the concept of leadership when I was 10 years old. I would accompany my paternal grandparents everywhere. His late Majesty King Tuku'aho IV and Her Majesty Queen Tuku'aho at church conferences, receiving visitors, Isnane, agriculture shows, inauguration of new buildings, to boat rides to the outer islands, distributing food to the elderly, and more. I observed then that even if my paternal grandparents were tired or unwell, they would still continue to attend to all this with that priceless, peculiar smile when something significant was achieved, softened by tears of joy. One day I asked my grandmother, "Why do we keep doing this? Can't we just take a break?" My namesake replied, "This is our job, our role, our life, leading and looking after people. We exist because of our people. Without them, we wouldn't be ourselves. I hope one day you will understand and continue what we are doing." Then, when I would visit my maternal grandparents, they would always remind me, "You must always do your best to support your family, the royal family, without failure. There will come a day we won't be around to help you, and you will have to continue our work." As I journeyed through life, I then integrated the life skills my beloved grandparents had taught me into practice. An important lesson learned from my forebears. Being a leader is not about having a title or a position. It's a choice. We cannot just dream of a better world. We need to forge ourselves into one. We have the power to choose and the power to change the world. Leadership does not materialize because you gain a specific position, a pay grade or level of seniority or popularity. Instead, leadership is about the choice you make to influence and the freedom to accept personal responsibilities. There are three kinds of people in this world: the wills, the wants, and the can'ts. The wills accomplish just about everything. The wants oppose everything, and the can'ts usually fail in everything. We need to be those people who will make the choice to become leaders and to make positive changes. Having the capacity to translate one's vision into reality is an ingredient of effective leadership. Over the years, I saw that Tonga needed leaders to step up and lead people in times of social, economic, and political challenges. Thus, on a personal level, I had to collaboratively work with community leaders at achieving the visions and aspirations as expected of me. Village life is where my authority lies as an estate holder's daughter, and it makes sense to start the work I felt needed to be done from the grassroots level. Growing up at Okalani and Bear, I have always watched my parents call a whānau with the people of the villages whom I became attached to. These people are not only my kainga, they are my family, defined by blood relations and bound through community ties for over centuries. Since I attended Queen Salete College and lived with my uncle in Tonga, His late Majesty King George V, I was compelled to tend to the needs of the villagers because my parents and brothers had moved to Australia as my father was pursuing tertiary studies. In their absence, I saw opportunities and dreamt of a better Tonga. In 2010, I relocated to Canberra to pursue further studies, and in 2012, I began in my current capacity as High Commissioner to Australia. These windows of opportunity had allowed me to identify my visions and then employ the opportunities I came across to advance these visions. So each time I travel to Tonga, I like to spend time at the villages and share my experiences, or ausia as we say in Tongan. It is through this sense of sharing with the kainga at the grassroots level that I fully understand Tonga and understand understand what Tonga needs. To bring about positive changes for a better Tonga, it is obligated that one must possess a positive attitude. When I was charged as patron of the Tonga National Leadership Development Forum, or TNLDF, I was humbled by the forum's objective to support effective leadership development and building a sense of ownership at the national level. This forum promotes, encourages, partners, and enables different types of leadership activities to adhere to the Tonga National Leadership Code. Our activities partner and theme together with the district and town officers, Prefect Association, Sea Safety and Training, Leadership Week, volunteer work, separation of rubbish, green growth, and much more. In December 2013, we launched the Tonga National Leadership Code with a signing ceremony, which defines the role and responsibilities of leaders. The signing paved the way for the implementation of the Leadership Code and how communities can use the code to hold their leaders accountable. A positive attitude leads to positive outcomes. When I told my friends and relatives about my thoughts for Young Tongan Traditional Leaders, or YTTL, they were at first dismissive, but I chose to remain positive. TNLDF is the governing body for a lifelong dream of mine which became YTTL. YTTL is comprised of registered members who are children of nobility and ceremonial attendants with estates across Tonga, both residing in Tonga and overseas. Our vision is to give life to Tongan culture through collaboration, leadership, and strengthening ties with the Tongan people, land, and the environment. Our mission as young leaders is to exert a positive difference and create value with and for Tonga. We hope to make a difference in leading by example at the village level to improve the lives of the people who are under our responsibilities. I believe that a better Tonga is built through commitments beginning at the basic levels of society. Every generation endeavors to create a better future for the world they were born into. We did not choose to be born into leadership positions, but we are utilizing the opportunity to make positive, practical differences. I envision for YTTL members to think globally and act locally. Effective communication is key to effective leadership. When I learned about the sea level rising in the western and eastern sides of Tonga, I sought the assistance of both district officers on a site tour. Admittedly, these tours were traumatizing and an eye-opener because it was a reality check on the realities of sea level rising in Tonga. I realized it was a process I had to go through to be able to raise awareness on the drastic impacts of climate change and global warming on our shores. Seawater penetrating residential and farming lands, homes inundated by the ocean, and rugby and church fields submerged. The latest data from SOPAC concerning sea level rise for Tonga is 8.6 millimeters per year, compared to the global figure of 3.2 millimeters per year. It is anticipated that by the end of the 21st century, the sea level rise will be 1.6 meters per year. Given that the highest point in Tonga is only 66 feet, with a rate of 1.6 meters per year, Tonga will be fully underwater within 32 years. The assessment of the vulnerability to sea level rise for Tonga predicts that if sea level rises up to 5 meters, the expected inundated land will be 22%, affecting up to 63% of the people in Tonga alone. Effective leadership on such critical concerns requires an integrated approach, an integrated response, and an integrated leadership strategy. The effects of sea level rising and global warming may not happen in our time, but it will be on the shoulders of our future generations. Leadership is an observable, learnable set of practices and an ongoing process of development and learning. Leaders are made when they understand their purpose and strengths and have a deep passion to make a difference. Being a leader has its challenges, but so far it has been a humbling learning experience about service, serving others, and being of service to the nation. As an ambassador, my primary role is to develop and maintain relationships. They call it in diplomacy as deepening of relations. Relations between states and relations within the international community. As I see it, leadership is also about relationships and the ability to strike a balance within relations. Thus, on a personal level, is not about my journey as a person who wears many hats, but journeying together with those around me. As the old adage remains, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.